Hello, dear friends. Welcome to Kardec Radio, where we're here to nourish our souls. I'm Norah, the host of this program, Thoughts by Joanna Angelis through Divaldo Franco. This is the beautiful book. It's amazing, friends. All the exercises that we can do to keep growing are absolutely life changing. So let us begin. This is what Joanna shares with us today. To educate one's mind by disciplining one's thoughts is a valuable resource to achieving spiritual health for a successful reincarnation. So now let's put all this together, right? So we know by learning new tasks, thinking deeply about them, and keeping our thoughts in check, we are helping ourselves grow inside and to find peace. So when we control our thoughts to stay positive and clear, we avoid getting caught up in negativity and confusion. In turn, when we constantly do it, it turns into a habit, and these habits are strong pillars that support our spiritual well being, making sure our mind, body, and soul are in harmony. So, by cultivating disciplined thoughts and educating our minds, we lay a groundwork for a journey of transcendence where each reincarnation becomes a stepping stone towards higher consciousness and spiritual fulfillment. So, we might be asking ourselves, what is education of the mind, right, in terms of Joanna and successful reincarnation? So, if we turn to the book Heaven and Hell by Allan Kardec, second part, they have different examples of different spirits and different levels. And let's go to an example of happy spirit, right? Because a happy spirit will give us a little bit of guidance. In this particular case study, her name is Madame Foulon. She disincarnated February 3rd, 1865, 3 days later. But this particular excerpt is actually 2 days later, February 8th, 1865. And they just sort of were asking her, how are you? Okay. And this is her response, right? That is true. But from the time I found myself seriously ill, I regained my strength of mind, which had been shaken by sorrows and troubles that had rendered me timid. I said to myself, "You are a spiritist. Forget the earth. Prepare for the transformation of your being. Fix your eyes in thought on the shining path that your spirit will follow on quitting your body and will lead you, happy and released from earthly sorrows, to the celestial spheres in which you will thenceforth dwell. You will perhaps tell me that it was somewhat presumptuous on my part to count on attaining to perfect happiness on leaving the earth, but I had suffered so much that it seemed to me I must have expiated the faults of that life and all of my previous lives. This intuition did not deceive me. It gave me back my courage and rendered me calm and firm in my last moments, and this firmness has naturally increased since I have seen my hopes fulfilled." And we sort of get this answer from Madame Foulon where, she's crossing and she's still herself, and a lot of those emotions are still within her. But what's so beautiful is, though she's considered a happy spirit, in her reincarnation, as she says here, she was having difficulties, and to the point that she says, "I must have expiated the faults." She probably had a tough life. But what's beautiful is this intuition that she talks about, that she had her hopes. And those kind of things, on top of just herself now in this state, telling herself, you'll be okay, you'll be okay. These are lessons for us to kind of see into this perspective from Joanna, that what we are doing today, and if we build these habits of our mind in every reincarnation, it just makes it a lot easier, right? So we can see when we cultivate mental discipline, such as the story of Madame Foulon, right? By guiding our thoughts and emotions, whether in this state, and even if as we disincarnate, we keep on, we create a fertile ground for that spiritual health to flourish. And this spiritual well-being in turn also nourishes our soul, right? Guiding us towards enlightenment and fulfillment, which is what we're all seeking the same things, dear friends, right? So this beautiful symbiotic relationship between the mental discipline and the spiritual health lays the foundation for the effective reincarnations that we know take time. But attaining spiritual balance and wisdom in this life, We pave the way for a smoother transition into the next, carrying forward the lessons learned and the progress made on our journey towards higher consciousness. And we know that there is right results on this, because the next question was, well, how was your awakening, right? And not on full on, again, she was so vulnerable and so honest and so beautiful, and we can see that what is considered happy is attainable if we are in this mindset. Let us read a little bit of what her experience. I suffered much in passing away, but my spirit was superior to the physical suffering caused by the effort of disengagement. I found myself, after the last sight, in a state similar to a fainting fit, having no consciousness of my position, thinking of nothing, and plunged in a vague somnolence that was neither the sleep of the body nor the waking of the soul. I remained for a considerable time in this state. Then, as though coming out of a long sleep, I awakened in the midst of a company of friends whom I did not know, but who were surrounding me with affectionate attentions and caresses, who pointed to a shining speck far off in space that looked like a brilliant star and said to me, "That is where you are going to go. With us, you have ceased to belong to earth." As they spoke, my memory came back to me. Supported by them, I accompanied the graceful group of friends in their flight towards this unknown region to which they had directed my glance. And we continue to rise up, a conviction of coming happiness filling my whole being, and the beautiful star growing larger and larger as we approached it. It was a high and happy world in which your old friends will at least enjoy repose. The repose of which I speak is rest from the bodily fatigues and wearing vicissitudes that for so long I had to endure in the early life. But this rest is not indolence, for activity is a source of enjoyment for spirits. So here again, we have a beautiful transition, so real, so I guess again using the word vulnerable in a sense that she was feeling things, but then she had that support. And what's beautiful is when she says, activity is a source of enjoyment. So that means our minds, friends, and our control and our thoughts and what we're doing on our day-to-day, they do affect, they do influence us, as Joanna is saying, right? So 3 things for us to keep in thought. Let's embrace the discipline of thought, which is absolutely beautiful. Let's seek knowledge and education and practice self-reflection and inner growth. And these 3 examples we got to see in this beautiful case study. So as we're done, let's give ourselves a homework. Let us discipline our thoughts, educate our minds, and nurture our souls, knowing that each step we take brings us closer to the ultimate goal of a successful reincarnation, right? That is what Joanna says. So in the journey of the soul, the destination is not an end, but a new beginning, right? And a chance to soar higher and higher towards the divine. What a beautiful gift to have reincarnation, to have, right, the free will to work with our thoughts, and to have the time now to practice, practice, and practice. Dear friends, that is today's message for the week. We thank you so much for tuning into Kardec Radio, where we're always nourishing our souls. Let us not forget to tune into other programs where we have amazing, amazing things. And let us remember, we are loved. Bye, friends. Until next week, same place, same time.